Okay, we're here at the front door of 104 11th Street. Got this where there's peeling paint. Same thing inside the door, so those need just some filler and paint it over. Scrape all this off and then have it repainted. There appears to be this color in the garage, but not this color. And then the next thing is all this trim up here. All that needs to be just scraped, sanded, and painted. If we had paint that matched the wall, then you'd only have to tape one edge. I guess if you painted it white, you'd only have to paint one edge too. So however that can get done, and that's most of the house except for the two gable ends. So we're going to move around the house this way. You can see up there, that's that same trim. There. Then when you reach here, they've got some different kind of trim, and then where they have trim on these gable ends to hold that vinyl or aluminum siding. I don't know what it is. I don't see any peeling paint here. Okay. Coming around the front, this all looks pretty good. I don't see anything. Now we're on the north wall. You know, similar here. That's not too bad. You might not even have to sand that, just paint over it. Again, this is some molding there that holds the, looks like vinyl siding in there. I don't see any real peeling paint. In between these windows, there's tiny little spots. I can't imagine Fraser would turn that down. Here's some others right here. Looks like something scraped up against it maybe. You know, I would just barely fill that in. Doesn't even need scraped. I hate to say it, but whoever painted it didn't do very well. You can see the brush strokes. Here's some more tiny little spots, you know. Those are tiny little spots on the north wall. So now we're going around the back side of the home. All that trim looks good. All that trim looks good. There's maybe some peeling paint here. A little bit of peeling paint there. That's almost to ground level. Wouldn't hurt to scrape it, I guess, and paint over it. This little wing wall. There's a piece down here. Wouldn't hurt to do that. Maybe put some filler in there. I don't know what that was for. But, and same with these. That's not peeling paint, but while you're painting, just paint over that. Again, up on the gable end, that's got trim that holds the vinyl siding in. Now here's where it gets tricky. The guy that's building the stairs is getting rid of all these screws sticking out. While we're at it, it wouldn't hurt to paint that for them. No, never mind. It doesn't have to. This trim looks pretty good until you get to past south of the French doors. And then this whole wing wall where the deck used to be, that trim there. And then, you know, a little peeling paint there. some peeling paint here, there. That's not peeling, it just wasn't sanded down and done right from the start. I'm almost considering bringing a pressure cleaner over here in the morning and go around and pressure clean this baby. That'll help brighten everything up. Now the back wall where the exterior thing is, you know, up here, that's prevalent all the way down there. Some peeling paint here, there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit here, and here. Right there's a little bit. It looks less like peeling paint, just a scuff in the wall. This, I don't even know if this is active. It looks like a phone wire. I wouldn't deal too much with it, you know, but maybe just go underneath here where that is. Again, this is where that peeling paint on the trim. I looked into just pulling that trim down and replacing it. Might be easier than scraping and painting. Yeah, it might not be that way. So coming around the south wall, you know, again, underneath where this cord went through. Some right here, some right there, some on this chimney. Down there. Up there, right here, the old fuel oil heater on this windowsill. South walls always get the most sun, so that's a got ants on me. Here's some at the bottom of the east side of the old flue for the fuel oil heater, and then there's some spots here, down there. Yeah, that's about it. Just some tiny little spots, you know. They didn't say anything about this wood rot. All right, they said chipping paint. Normally I would scab some wood in there and paint over it. But the appraiser didn't say anything. You know, same here. You know, that's obviously rotted wood, but you know, it's kind of normal. 1953 home. It's been water splashing up on that. They didn't say anything about interior paint, and I don't see any here. These two paint cans, this one looks darker than this one, but that appears to be the trim paint. So that'll work for the door, and you just need some white for that trim up there. And that should do it.